Hello, everyone, and welcome to Swindler's Den presents Icewind Dale, Rime the Frostmaiden. We are here with a special pre-recorded session that is only on YouTube and Patreon because we're getting into the crazy part of the year where a few of us will be a little too busy to actually be playing on Wednesdays. So we'll be rejoining you guys in January, but for now we have this to send off the year. Before we get into our players and what we're doing today, I just want to do a couple quick little baby announcements. So for the month of December, the only thing that we have live currently is going to be the Lost Song of Phandelver, which is on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Amoris is finished. There will be a post talk question roundtable thing this coming Sunday. So this goes up on Fridays. Timetables and stuff. So that will be live on Twitch in a couple of days. On this coming Sunday. So be sure to join that. And if you have any questions about the campaign or the characters or anything for the DM, be sure to go to our Discord, which I think is linked in our description. I don't read the description. But you can go to our Discord, and there is a special Q&A channel where you can put your questions and get them answered. Or join the live stream and throw them in the chat, and they might get picked up there. Otherwise, I think we can get started here. Let's introduce our players as we join the Goliaths today. We'll start off with Grizzlock.
Hey everybody, I am Grizzlock. You can find me on YouTube at Grizzlock and here where I play Pabu today, the Goliath Bard. And running Lost Song on Sundays.
Next in line we have Bumbleskum.
Hey, it's your boy Bumbleskum. You can find me on whatever. If you search Bumbleskum with the K. We're doing Goliath, so my character's name is Shadowmind. He's a Goliath monk. Back to you.
Back to me, and I'm going to toss over to Dyto.
Hi, I'm Dyto. We're Goliaths. So I am Valrez, Night Hunter, the Gloomstalker Ranger.
And next in the order is TommieTaco.
I always anticipate that, but I always forget to hit unmute. Hi, I'm TommieTaco. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch. I don't really do much on YouTube, but I do stream occasionally on Twitch at TommieTaco. But tonight, I play here as Marok Stonehearer, a Goliath Druid. I have to make sure I say that right because I play too many characters.
And last but not least, we have Dr. Phage.
Oh, I'm playing Axel, the Goliath fighter. Big surprise there. And you can find me on Twitter at Little Growth.
I love that name, by the way. It is such a good name.
All right, and in our last session, since it's been a while since we've seen the Goliaths, last session they continued on the quest to prove Axel's worth to finish or fulfill his destiny. They went to Jarlmut, the home of the long since past Jarls of the Giants, to prove that the Goliaths are also worthy of being amongst the rest of the giant folk. They entered the ring and were about to engage in combat with some undead creations that were being summoned forth when a frost giant appeared in the ring to also want to prove herself to become a Jarl for her own people. The ancient Jarls decided that this would be the combat, the giant versus the Goliaths, and the Goliaths were victorious after a very long, hard fight. They were able to stop the regeneration process that this frost giant possessed and take her down, where they were then allowed access into the chambers underneath the Jarl's thrones. Inside, they had to do a little bit of thinking as they added ingredients to different braziers to start the fires there, opening a secret doorway that led into a chamber where there was a chest. They found the key for the chest and opened it only to be attacked by flying axes. But once they were all taken care of, they found the ancient horn of the spirits, which they used to call forth the spirits of the mountains that took off into Icewind Dale, unbeknownst to them, helping Axel's old party members that were getting slaughtered by a frost giant skeleton in some of the caves. And this is where we join our Goliaths in a little bit of a time jump, as they have returned back to Wormdoom Crag, the home of the Thunlakalaga clan, as well as some other smaller, or Thunlakalaga tribe, as long as some smaller family clans. And we join our party as they are inside of a very familiar chamber in these caves to this group, the Shamans Chamber, where Aruk Thundercaller Thunlakalaga, the shaman, is sitting in his spot that nobody's really seen him move from for many years. Again, this is an ancient Goliath, over 100 years old, one of the oldest ever known. And he speaks to his protege, we could say, Stone here, in an ancient Goliath or giant language that is lost to current Goliaths. And as you are all sitting there, possibly learning of a new quest, I'm going to send Stone here what he says to him, and you can interpret it as you like. You are also joined by your chieftain, Ogalai Orc Splitter Thunlakalaga.
I have a question out of game while Tommy's reading things that I just thought of.
Okay.
How far away is Wormdoom Crag from 10 Towns?
Wormdoom Crag from 10 Towns. I'll put up the actual map here. Actually, it'll be easier if I put up the actual map because it shows me where you guys are. Whereas my map behind me does not. So I'll pull you up here. And actually, I can reveal where this is. So your normal characters won't know where this is. I'll probably just hide it again. But you are way the hell over here, in the spine of the world.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, there's a thing down at the bottom too where you can kind of tell mileage.
So
farther
away than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, a little over 20 miles, maybe about 25.
If we expect to unite Icewind Dale against the everlasting Rime, we must unite the Goliaths.
And at that, your chieftain, who again, is not as old as Thundercaller or Stonehearer or Shadowmind, but an older Goliath still, has these scars across her face, looks confused for a moment, and then concern is, you don't mean the to join again with Skytower shelter, do you? And the shaman nods. And for those of you who forget, Skytower shelter is the rival Goliaths that the Goliaths of Wormdoom Crag have not gotten along with for a long time. In fact, you have one of their artifacts currently in the helm of the Griffin, which was a long loss to the Skytower shelter Goliaths.
I feel like this is like those two tribes off of The Last Airbender getting all mad about the orbs and shit. Turns out it was just a game that these kids lost.
Isn't that what this is? Didn't they get mad over a game of, what was it called, Goat Ball?
It happened. So I believe I told all of you about this. So it started at a game of Goat Ball, where when a young Goliath, Ogalai, your chieftain, was playing, and a ball had the goat ball had flown off near one of the griffins that Skytower shelter is known for, and the griffin attacked her. And the story and that's how she got her scars on her face. And the story goes that the griffins continued to harass Wormdoom Crag after this until they had to defend themselves. And they have never gotten along since. Here's a more in-depth version of it. Many summers ago, the children of Wormdoom challenged the children of Skytower to a game of goat ball. During the game, the ball tumbled near one of the griffins of Skytower. When one of our children tried to fetch the ball, the griffin went berserk and grievously wounded her. The game was called off. Hungry for more of the child's flesh, the griffin haunted Wormdoom for days. Our hunters were forced to kill it to protect the child. The two clans have been opposed ever since.
How do you propose we unite with Skytower?
The chieftain, it won't be easy there. Chieftain, Arn Rockfist, Aconathy. He's just a stubborn old stillborn. I don't know if he'll even speak with any of you, let alone let you get close. But if our shaman says this is what needs to be done to save Icewind Dale, and it's your quest to do so, I suppose it's up to you to find a way to mend the ancient... Well, not ancient. I'm not that old. But this bad blood between the two major Goliath tribes.
Well, I don't like it.
I don't much care for it either, but...
If you can't trust someone to be honorable just because they're losing a game of goat ball, how can you trust them to help save the world?
Unfortunately, I think our shaman is right in to oppose isolation, we need to join together.
Are we going to have to give up Pabu's very cool helmet?
It might help butter them up. I don't know that they'd let him walk in there with it.
Very unfortunate.
Just
okay.
like him to probably assume we just stole it from him.
Perhaps we say we found it and wanted to return.
You sweet, sweet summer child. The Skytowers are terrible cretins of the mountains. Terrible oafs. Only their skills in goat ball are as bad as their intelligence.
I have heard the tales.
We could benefit from them, though.
This is true. Pabu has never interacted with the Skytower Goliaths, being as young as he is.
I remembered something from before, that I have found one of their dead friends previously. I don't think I know his name though.
Where did you find a dead
Uh,
Skytower?
In a Yeti cave, far near whatever,
West?
Gilvin's Cairn. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know if I would bring that up.
Don't know if it's important to them.
Unless you did an honorable burial of him.
Ooh. I didn't quite do that, so perhaps we do not bring it up. He was a Skytower. What did you expect me to do?
I mean, fair enough at that point. Well, the
Well,
trek over there shouldn't take you more than half a day, but you will have to pass through the Avalanche Chasm, and that hasn't been traversed in quite a while. We used to go through there and clear it out so that you only had to worry about causing the avalanche yourself, but we haven't sent any Goliaths through there in quite a while, so I don't know what dangers might have moved into the area.
I'm sure it's nothing that the dragon killers could not handle.
That's what I like to hear from you, young Thunderclap.
Oh, I didn't
We have
mean
been
me.
chosen worthy of the Jarls.
Well, you can
Small
leave when you
avalanche.
please, no real hurry, since there isn't an immediate danger, but probably the sooner the better, I would think.
Where in general are we going to be going? Are we going, like, west?
You will be heading south,
Oh,
east.
down.
And actually, they can, and like Shadowmine, Night Hunter, and Stone Hero would know where it is generally. So I'll put it on the map here for you.
Southwest.
Too close.
if there are, in terms of trade, what are we allowed to offer?
Their helm obviously is on the table. Any of your own possessions. If there's anything beyond that, we would have to reconvene and discuss.
How about an end to an eternal winter? Eh?
Bringing up that and Axel's destiny of ending it might help as well. Yes.
I'm still
Maybe-
not too sure that an endless winter is worse than working with a Skytower.
Maybe start with the end of a feud brings the beginning of the dawn. Do those words go together?
They sound very wise. Yes.
That is nice. I will write that down.
Worst case scenario, we just challenge them to a game of goat ball.
Oh, I thought we just challenge the chief and kill them, and then one of us becomes the chief.
Now
Then
you're
we
talking.
do not have to worry about it.
I'm
A surprise-
not entirely sure that would be smoothed over very well.
It could work, though.
It is your
Nope.
destiny to fulfill, Axel, and the rest of you are there to see him to it.
That will
Please don't
be
kill me, Axel.
last resort plan. That is not the first plan. Do not worry.
I only have so many arrows.
What if? What if we challenge them to a game of goat ball? If they win, they get the helmet back, and we work together. If we win, we kill the chieftain, become the head of the Sky Towers, and now they have to work together with us.
I feel like you just absorbed every plan we were coming up with into
And
one.
they all sound good when they're together.
It does not sound like a bad plan. Counterpoint, and we're just spitballing here, coming up with different plans. I like the goat ball idea, but if they win, they get the fancy helmet. We win, we at least get a temporary truce. Do not have to make peace, but temporary truce until the dawn comes again.
Maroke's
I-
gone out and like drug in like a chalkboard, and he's like writing down all the different plans.
That is an easier idea to sell. Only temporary.
How about we say If you don't work together, we'll kick your asses.
I mean, that's a possibility as well. We shall see how negotiations shall go. It will be very interesting with my extremely high charisma of -1 to do all of this negotiation.
Same.
I feel you there.
Huh, mine's 0.
I have a
Young
+4.
Pabu, this is on you. you are mouthpiece.
You will be our youthful. That was gonna come out way fucking worse than how it sounded in my head.
Young Pabu, they are very stupid. Just play them a fascinating drum beat and they'll be hooked on it. They'll follow everything you say.
Okay.
Is there anything we can do for you before your journey, or?
Is there a chiropractor around?
Yes, we have a chiropractor. You can
It's
go
just
to
me. I just flurry of blows on your spine.
And I'd like reset his right knee.
All right, well, the journey is yours when you want to take it. And they shoot.
Usher?
Yeah. Well, they kind of dismiss you from the Shamans Chambers, and you
Before I leave,
before
I'm
you
gonna
leave.
look to, it's a rook. Is that how it's pronounced? Aruk?
Uruk, yeah.
Aruk. Master Aruk. Before we leave, is there anything I could do? Would you like some food? Soup?
He pauses for a moment. The semicircle piercings that are on his lip that go underneath the chin, kind of jangling as he moves his lip to things. No, maybe some warm water would be good for the body.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go fetch him some, like a cup of warm water. Bring it
We
back to
should-
him.
He sips on it very slowly.
And then right whenever he goes to sip on it, I'm gonna drop a stone in his fucking cup. And I'm just like, just wanted to make sure gravity was working in here, and then walk the fuck out.
He kind of laughs to himself as he takes the stone out and sets it aside.
Before I leave, I'm like, you bastard.
We should see about climbing gear to get through that avalanche path.
That is a good idea. I did not think of that.
I think
We
we've
would
got
use it.
climbing gear right here.
We would use it many years ago when we actually cleared the pass.
Yeah, I guess if we know about like the path there, is there anything like that the three of us would know about that we should want to prep before?
Do a history check. Sorry, I'm just trying to get you guys a map to just generally look at. Yeah, you don't know for sure. There's been things like rime worms, which they're not like purple worms. They're like wolf-sized worms that kind of just crawl around. Or sorry, they're called rime slugs. And like they've been a problem in the past, and like just like packs of wolves and things, but
Okay. Not a problem. No. There's only two things I think we'll have to worry about. There might be some rime slugs. Not really an issue. You just chop them right in the correct spot and they just drop. The other thing is those Skytower folk. They might try to ambush us at every moment. Fly down with their little griffins, the little chickadees. Because I can't fight honorably.
Should I not wear the helmet?
You should definitely wear the helmet.
Do not
march
listen to
in
him.
and establish yourself as new leader of the Skytower shelter.
This is
Yeah,
just a
I-
general
I-
layout of Worm Doom on your screen right now.
Okay.
Would we know how far of a travel it would be from Worm Doom to Skytower? Like a couple hours, half a day.
It's about half a day travel in the mountains on foot.
Did I miss the description of like a dragon skeleton just laying outside the front? That's cool.
Yeah, it's a white dragon that was killed when the Goliaths first moved to Worm Doom, and that's how they.
Oh yeah,
they-
now I
they
remember.
earn-
Yeah,
Yep,
Worm
that's how
Doom.
they earn these caves, is killing the dragon.
So, Valraz would go try and find some climbing gear.
Yeah, there would be some climbing gear with the blacksmith, Demolock, a Nightwalker, Thunlocka. No, that's the teacher. Sorry. Wenyani, High Hunter, Thunlocka.
No, yeah.
The blacksmith would have some climbing gear for all of you, so that's easy enough to grab.
Is that free? Or are they gonna charge us to save their fucking tribe?
I'm gonna take Axle Breaker to the side. All right. I need to let you understand something. I know when we first went to go fight that dragon over at the springs, I had mentioned during the fight that at one point I too had been banished. Nothing I don't think is prominent as whatever mysteries are surrounding your fates. But there was a time in which I loved someone I should not have. I got banished for running off with a Skytower lady. And we had children together. Unfortunately, it was not easy for us. And to earn my way back into these, I had to slaughter so many Skytower civilians.
That's fucking
I kind of
wild.
grew up. I know you don't know much about more than me just being a hard ass who's unbelievably ripped. But in my prime, I was used as more of a special forces kind of man. A lot of my abilities and my skill sets are in the darkness, as they say. I'm just saying, this might be a very difficult negotiation when I'm around. I have killed many Goliaths. In fact, it's been so long, to be honest, I don't even know if I've killed my own children or not.
That was going to be a question. When you said slaughter, I thought that you were first going to say you had to kill your own family, which was going to be horrific. Which
Yeah.
what followed was still horrific, but in a different way.
Yes, that was the first proposal.
Okay.
But I begged them not to let me do that, and instead I had to slaughter 20 Goliath men.
Okay. So we are coming
just
in with
saying.
a lot of negatives. Good to know.
Lots of
Good to know.
negatives. Lots of negatives. I don't
Okay.
think this will go very well at all.
No, it is looking worse and worse the more I hear about it.
Welcome to the family.
But I really liked your plan about the idea of taking out the head and just ruling them all. And I slap you on the back. Good work out there.
Thank you. Thank you. I thought it was a good plan too.
I can shoot arrow from 150 feet away. They would never see me coming.
Are you just saying that out loud, dude?
That was a side conversation.
There was
Saying that.
She does tend to. She's psyching herself up for these. What were they called? Rhyme slugs.
She's just like at a shop, like looking at somebody, thinking.
Maroke's
Her
like,
intelligence is a 0, so she can do that.
Maroke's like, dear, remember our conversation about maybe keeping some things to yourself in public?
Did I say that out loud?
Oh, yes,
again?
you said that out loud, my dear. And I just kind of pat her on the back. Like, it's okay. Sorry to worry you. We'll be leaving.
Yeah, the Wayani was just kind of staring at her, but she's gotten used to her random outbursts. All right.
I have a -1 charisma and a 0 intelligence. Come on, guys.
It's like,
Perfect.
welcome to my shop. I've killed so many fucking wolves. It's like, I don't know if that's a negotiation tactic or you're trying to have a conversation.
All right. Is there anything you guys want to do before you leave for Skytower shelter, other than you gotten your climbing equipment and had a couple side conversations?
They may need us to take Pabu here and a youth for a youth. So just beware.
Ooh,
That's how them Skytower folk work. Don't let the boy know.
Again, we are going to start with the goat ball negotiations. Very low stakes for both sides.
Valras would also like grab a tent, just in case they get stuck out there.
All right, then I suppose we are heading off into the spine of the world. So I will grab you guys and move you back to the Icewind Dale map for a second while we travel for just a little bit. Who is leading?
Probably the ranger.
Yeah.
Probably the ranger should roll a survival check for me.
This
then,
ranger's
please.
a real ranger.
Are we in the mountains still?
You are in the mountains.
So that's with advantage?
If that is your favorite terrain, then yes, it is.
16.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Smoke
What
is your
was that?
tune.
No, I want you to rewind the clip there and say that again.
I mean, she did get a 16. And this was mostly just for like speeding it up because you can't get lost here.
Yeah.
But yeah, you actually gain a little bit of time as you make your way through the spine and are able to avoid most problems, and then you come to Avalanche Chasm, which I will bring you to now.
Just sounds like a bad time.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, currently Shadowmind has a torch. If you would like to not have the torch, let me know and I'll take it away.
Would we have wanted a torch?
I can't see shit out here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
most
we
of
would
you
want
can't
the
see
torch.
anything. I think
I'm the only-
Axel and Night Hunter, is that your name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Night
can
Hunter are
spend
the only
key
ones
points. I can spend key points to give myself dark vision, but I'm not going to do that if 3 of us need it. So I'll just have the light still. So if Night Hunter wants to be ahead of my light,
She would be like just where she's in the darkness, but he can still follow
Yeah,
her.
if you guys want to like move yourselves around, just trying to stay towards the bottom part of the map here.
I put myself down below.
I can't see his light. How far off does it give?
It goes. That's weird that you can't see it. Because it goes to. It's about 20 feet of bright and then 20 feet of dim. So that's where bright ends and that's where dim ends.
Okay, so she would be like just outside the dim.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I can't see it either, but the whole map's
Oh.
lit up for me, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I just have the whole map lit. That's weird that you guys can't see.
Yeah, I can see.
I don't
it.
want to go too far forward
see
though.
as
She
well.
said to.
I can't see it at all.
Let me. Aura 1.
In the meantime,
See.
Pabu just picks up like a small rock and casts light on it as well.
Oh!
I
see
can
it now.
see it now.
Yeah, it's big.
I would have been like just outside of it.
All right, Pabu casts light. What's the radius on light?
I think it's 20. It
20 for
is.
any.
20-foot radius and 20-foot dim light for an additional 20 feet. What? Weird way of wording that, but yeah.
So it's basically the same
It's
as
the
a
same
torch.
as a torch, yeah.
Yeah.
So the colors might look weird, but I'm gonna make you a thing as well, so people can see where that stuff is. Okay, I don't know that worked perfectly, but you can at least see the bright portion of his.
As the light glints off the snowflakes, I'm just gonna be like, reminds me of my disco days.
What is disco?
It came as quickly as it went, Pabu. You weren't even thought of yet.
All right, so what are you guys doing here in the chasm? Let me actually...
Just as a point of order, Pabu would not be in the lead. I would make sure I was in front of Pabu. I don't know if Grizz just did not relocate himself.
I did
I
not.
moved myself to the back to give.
Pabu's
900
feeling
much
frisky
range
ever
for-
since he got that helmet, man. He's like, yeah, let's do
There
this.
he is.
He does crit quite often, so...
I feel like I don't. I'm so torn because I feel like we have an encounter coming before we meet people. That's metagaming though, so I don't think I have the helmet on because I'm afraid of getting ambushed by them and them being like,
Well,
The
we
helmet.
did mention that.
yeah.
Yeah.
To not.
So I think the helmet's in my bag. I just want to state that.
I want to start
Did you make a penis
using
with
my
our characters?
climbing kit. When it starts looking unsafe, to put the pittons in and a rope to kind of like as an anchor for as people come through. To be able to like, they have some kind of like carabiner thing to just anchor themselves to the rock in case there is some kind of an avalanche. They won't get as buried, maybe.
Okay, so you guys are in the bottom of this chasm. So if there's an avalanche, it's just coming all on top of you. Essentially, is what's going on here.
Okay.
We're all going to fucking die.
So do we just need to get, like, through this chasm?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. So, we need to be very quiet as we are walking. No loud noises. Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
Yeah. If you guys are trying to...
Actually, let me see if I have something to help here. Because I am a shadow man. Where the hell? There it is. Shadow Arts. I can cast Pass Without Trace.
All right.
Let me just look that up, and so I can drop that into the old thing.
Add a Rooney.
So plus 10 to anybody.
Range self.
Yeah, you cast it on yourself, but then there's like a 30-foot aura around you, and anybody that's in that 30 feet
Oh, okay.
gets the plus 10 dexterity, or plus 10 to their stealth.
Yeah. Okay. So I will cast Pass Without Trace going through this to help us like keep our quiet.
See if I can put another aura on top of you. I'm going to move you for a second so I can give you another aura.
Just make it a blue aura. See how that works.
Yeah, difficult
I think I can
terrain
only have
shouldn't-
2 on you at a time. Oh, well.
shouldn't hinder us. But I'm gonna use my familiarity with the mountains to try and find like safe places to step and walk as
Yeah,
we're
do
going through this chasm.
a survival with advantage. And give me a perception with advantage at the same time.
How many key points?
So that's a 20 for my survival
All right.
and a 26 for my perception.
Yeah,
Because we're in the mountains, I get double my proficiency.
Yeah. You would know that, like, if you were right up against the rock wall, there seems to be enough of a lip that the actual avalanche would go over you, and not cover you completely, probably making it easier to get out, giving you more of a pocket if you were to get buried. But also with that perception check, you hear something kind of like a clicking, as something scurrying up on the rock ahead of you, and you see this creature that seems to be made out of ice, and it almost looks like it has a ton of these small mouths that are kind of clacking as it's scurrying around on top of this rock.
Since I'm out of the darkness, this thing shouldn't be able to see me. Or since I'm in darkness, this thing shouldn't see me unless it has like tremor sense or blind sight out to forever feet.
Give me a stealth check if you're trying to be stealthy, or if you're just walking around because you're confident in yourself, that's fine too.
13.
Yeah, you see as this thing, as you're like moving, trying to move slowly, you
Well, if it has dark vision, I'm invisible because of Gloomstalker.
does not have dark vision. But it's like you can see kind of like it looks like it turns. There's so many heads, it's hard to see where it's actually paying attention to. But it seems to be know that something is where you are.
Well, I'm gonna quietly signal to Axel because he's probably the only one who can fully see me, and I'm gonna point up to it and like make like clicker the signals.
Axel, do you know what clicker signals are?
There is something up ahead. Be ready. Just like whispering that behind me.
Okay.
Night Hunter is signaling something. She's doing a lot of this. I don't know.
Oh, maybe she wants to talk to you.
Well, then she should come over here.
If Pabu's got his lightstone, I'm going to drop my torch.
But I have my longbow out and ready just in... Does it seem aggressive, or is it just in its natural habitat?
It seems to have taken notice that something is there that it possibly needs to defend itself from. So it's aware and seems to be ready to act if it needs to.
She's a hunter. She'd shoot first. It's gonna shoot it.
All right. Roll an attack.
Alright. Let me make sure I've got my thing. I do. How far away is it?
It is... So that rock is probably only like 10 feet up, so 45.
Would I be able to hunter's mark it before I shoot it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna hunter's mark it, and then I'm gonna take my 3 shots on it.
All right.
17,
17 hits.
25, and a natural 20.
That'll hit.
Okay, and then
All 3 hit, yep.
now I gotta do all of my hunter's mark.
And the hunter's mark does get doubled with the crit.
Yeah.
Doubled the dice, I should say.
So that's a lot of...
Should
bring
be one more hunter's mark, right? For the crit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All right, add all that up and let me know while I find some music.
That's 20 on the hunter's mark.
$55 by my math. And by my math, I mean what I typed into my computer's calculator.
I got 55.
What's the what is the name of this group again? Is it Sky Shelter?
Skytower Shelter.
Skytower Shelter is the actual settlement.
Yeah.
But the tribe name is Akathani. How much damage?
55.
55 damage. All right, that's a big hit. You can see as your arrows just right, like cracks this crystalline ice body of this creature, and they all start to make these weird squawking noises as the ice cracks around them. But it is still standing. Let me do some math now.
And
I need a calculator.
I'm gonna move back against the rock, just hoping that they will follow my lead and getting up against the rocks just in case there's an avalanche.
All right, we will now roll initiative. Let me erase everybody from the main game. There we go.
Oh.
Can't see out that far anyways. Oof.
Yeah, so anybody that needs light, Pabu, I don't know why your second aura isn't showing up. Let me see if I can fix that. I'm gonna move you for a second.
Oh, nat 1. That makes sense because I can't see shit. I don't even know that the fight's happening.
Actually,
Can I-
see if I could put 40 feet, if that does it. There we go.
Seeing that Night Hunter just took some shots, can I do a quick perception check to see what she's shooting at? Because I would have dark vision out to that range.
I will let you on your turn.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, God, that thing rolled good.
Just
Which
wanna see
is
if it's
not
open.
great for all of you.
Bring it
All right.
on. Hey, and look.
Descending order. Night Hunter, you start the initiative, so you get to go again.
I'm gonna pelt it 2 more times with 2 more arrows.
Alright.
I'm not gonna use my Dread Ambusher because I technically already used it. It's
27
a
hits.
27 and a 25.
Both hit. Roll your hunter's
And
mark.
then my Hunter's Mark. So that's 21, 23, 25 damage.
25. Another big hit. But it is still scurrying around. Again, the body's cracking as these arrows hit into it, but it is still standing.
Dang.
It is this thing's turn. So it is like all these mouths are clacking, and then they just open, and you can see as these things start to scream like a sonic boom coming out of all of their mouths. And above you, you start to hear the ice and snow start to crack. Let me make sure. Yeah. Let's see if it can hit any of you with the added effect of this thing. I don't think it can. Nope. All of you are far enough away that it's ear splitting, but not to the point where you're going to take any damage from it mechanically.
What is happening?
Yeah, you just hear like rocks are starting to fall down the side of the cliff as this
We're being
avalanche starts
attacked.
to build.
Up on the cliff.
Stone here.
I'm gonna hold my turn until after I see what after Pabu.
In the pocket of the rocks.
Axel, yeah, you hear Night Hunter telling you to get in the pockets of the rocks, and you heard where the scream came from. So I'll say with your dark vision, you're able to see this thing up on this rock.
Okay. Seeing that, I am going to take a step back. I'm going to grab Pabu, just like fireman carry him, just like we're going, Pabu, and I'm going to dash over to the rock face, carrying Pabu with me.
Okay.
And also, like, putting my I would put Pabu up against the rock face and then stand in front of him in case anything, to block any damage coming towards him.
Alright. It is Shadow Mind's turn then.
Alright, I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. I'm gonna start heading out towards Night Hunter. And then that's all I'm gonna do for now.
Alright. Pabu.
I will hold an action if something moves within my light range that's not one of us. I will cast... I won't cast anything because I feel like a thunder wave is going to cause an avalanche or a thunder clap. So instead, I'll prepare to shoot my light crossbow at it.
What are you gonna actually shoot it, or are you just holding the action?
I'm holding the action for if something moves into my sight.
All right.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So since I didn't really do anything besides move, can I have prepared an action for when Night Hunter can pinpoint to me where the creature is?
Yeah.
Okay. Night Hunter, are you there? I can't see past this light.
Action. Right next to you.
Oh! All right, I need you to show me where it is.
She can do so on her turn. Stone here, you held your action for Pabu, and Pabu is holding his action. What would you like to do? Or you you delayed your turn, so you get a whole turn here.
I'm going to go to the rock face and get in the little cubby hole and just be looking up.
All right, you all chose the correct side as on initiative 0, the avalanche comes down from this side of the mountain, creating rough terrain within the chasm. But you are all safe from taking any damage this round.
Okay.
Night Hunter, it is your turn.
Will you be able to see my arrow when I shoot?
I think I can listen for it, and I don't have dark vision right now, and I don't think I'll get a chance to, but...
We'll just see if I have anything, but I don't. I don't have anything that would light him up.
I don't need
arrow
to
on
target
fire
it.
and then shoot.
I just need to know the area. Just make sure I can hear where it's coming from.
I put his hands on my shoulders so he can feel the direction I'm aiming.
Okay.
I'm gonna pew pew twice.
Pew.
25
hits.
Natural
1 misses. We do get your hunter's mark for that first one.
Whole 11 damages. Up on the cliff, about 10 feet.
Okay, I think I understand. Up on the cliffs. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start activating my shadow arts again. And again, my symbols become this inky shadow. And Pass Without Trace kind of had like a shadowy vibe around me. Now it's like shooting out towards, and I'll just say from this spot, since it doesn't have to be on him, I'm casting Silence.
Okay.
So there's a 20-foot radius around this spot is now silenced.
Nice.
I'll put that in the chat to make sure it's there.
Just trying to draw a... Technically, it's not a circle, but it's easier for me. Let me make sure that's big enough. It's not, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's only 50. Let me see if I can fix it, or if it's not going to let me. It will let me. I think that's it. No, it's not tall enough. I don't know, man. I'm just going to make this block. It's easier.
Yeah. My Pass Without Trace does drop because they are 2 different concentration spells.
20.
But I was like more like it floats over towards him.
Very cool.
Right, I will move it now so that it's centered. That should be 20 by 20 there. Right?
The 40 by
Radius.
40.
I did not make that big enough.
Yes.
Do.
You say 40 is the radius?
It's a 20 radius,
Oh,
so
okay.
it'd be a 40-foot square.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So can you just make a line from him to 40 feet, and then I can draw the square?
Yeah, let's do that. Let me get rid of this stupid square. Well, that. Where's? Can I change these to lines? Whatever. Draw a shape. Oh my god. I could just write it freehand. So, do you want it from that block?
20, 25, 30,
20.
40.
There's the 20 line.
Got it. I got it.
Okay, cool. Ooh, I'm a genius. I rolled 20.
I'll just do it from here. So from that spot is silenced.
Very good. All right. It is now this thing's turn. It currently can't scream, so it's going to try and get away from the arrows that are hitting it. How fast can you move? It's just trying to take cover. It doesn't necessarily know where the silence is, so it's not gonna like try and get out of the silence completely. It's just gonna try and take cover. So it will be there. Stonier.
I'm gonna start creeping up.
Alright, you do have rough terrain.
So let me check my movement. I don't think I have a lot. Yeah, so I'll be able to move 15 feet. 5, 10, 15. Yeah. And I'll just whisper out. Shadow Mind, what is it?
Some sort of screaming thing up there. But I'm taking care of it. Don't disturb me, you young whippersnapper.
Fuck you, old man.
It's some kind of multi-headed spider.
But I know what that is. Multi-headed spider thing that screams.
Do a nature check for me.
15.
You've heard of things like, and you like the noise is very much a giveaway. These are called Avalanche Screamers. They just like they have a tremor sense where if they feel danger coming, they scream, trying to cause the avalanche to remove whatever that danger is.
Yeah, sounds like an avalanche screamer. Maybe stop making it feel threatened. That's usually why they scream and cause avalanches. Just a warning. And that's it. I'm not gonna have any act. That's my turn.
All right, Axel.
I think I'm just gonna take my movement and dash and move up that point.
All right. Shadow Mind.
5. I'm gonna start running out of the light. 5, 10, 15, 20, 40. I'm gonna start running up this way.
You do have rough terrain.
Oh, right.
Yeah, even against the wall is rough terrain because it kind of filled in.
So I'm over here. Yeah.
All right. Anything else from you?
No, because I'm concentrating on the silence.
All right. Pabu.
Perhaps we should move up, Axel. Oh. I'll start working my way up behind Marok here, Stone here. I'll just continue to hold in action to fire if something moves into my light.
All right. Night Hunter. This thing is kind of moved backwards. You can still kind of see it, but it does have half cover currently.
I'm gonna move up. I guess just behind Shadow Mind, and hold an action for if it tries to do anything else to us.
All right. Let's see. What is your spell save DC? Do you have a spell save DC, Shadow Mind?
For
just in general, I think you should have one because you can cast.
Yeah,
spell.
it's
8 proficiency, and then I think wisdom would be yours.
Yeah, probably, yeah. 8 plus was it? So it's probably a 13 is probably what my
okay.
spell save
This thing is
DC
gonna
would be.
do an intelligence check to see if it can figure out that silence is cast, like not being able to hear its footsteps or its clattering. This thing's pretty freaking dumb, so it probably won't make it. What was the save again?
13 would be it.
It rolled an 11, so it's not quite sure what is going on here, and it's not getting hit currently, so it's not going to move. It is Stone Hero's turn.
You're muted, Tommy.
No, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I will say, you guys, there hasn't been noise coming from up there. It seems safe right now, as long as this thing doesn't figure out what is happening to it, like that is caught in this silence. It and doesn't feel threatened. You should be safe to move through here pretty easily.
I'm just gonna straight up dash up next to I cannot remember.
Night Hunter.
Night Hunter.
All right, Axel.
I'm gonna continue to move forward. I'm just gonna use my movement though, because I would like to essentially let Pabu get in front of me, so that I'm at the back.
Okay.
I'm like, Pabu, we must go.
Pabu
Alright.
isn't fucking here.
Look, Pabu, now is not the time.
Shadow Mind.
I told him to piss before we left.
I just
I'm
start
not pulling
moving
over,
up,
I said.
just like feeling my way against, like my back against the rocks, feeling my way through this as I'm just like concentrating on this spell, my shadow arts.
All right, Pabu isn't here, so he will take his turn when he comes back. It is Night Hunter's turn.
I'm going to use my action. I'm still readying a bow, but I'm gonna try and get out of this fucking. Wait. Stone here is next to me.
Yes.
How do these things see?
How do they see?
You know that it senses tremors.
It feels footsteps and tremors.
That's all I needed to know. Thank you. I will go up 15 feet and I will hold an arrow for if it causes another avalanche or is aggressive towards us.
All right. It is its turn. Yeah, it's not rolling good. Actually, you start to see it. It seems to get shorter from your perspective. Like the heads that are sticking up seem to go downwards, and you are unable to see it currently. Pabu, we did skip your turn. You can take it now. They were all calling for you to catch up to him, essentially.
Okay. Do I sprint past or no?
You can dash past if you'd
Yeah,
like to.
I'll use my action to dash on his turn.
Stone here.
I scream at the top of my lungs. I am going to... Yeah, I'll double move. Just double move dash, and I want to get in between these two pals of mine that I love so much. I want to get, it's like, so what's the plan?
Well, wait until it attacks us again. You said it shouldn't attack if we don't attack it, right?
Oh no, I just said that probably not attack it to see if it would end hostilities. I didn't say it wouldn't attack us. I mean, you've already fired at it.
Can you guys be a little quieter? I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, by the way,
Plan.
the
Plan
bone in
to
your
see the
right,
cliff.
your right knee is jutting in a really weird way. You should get that looked at.
It's how I'm walking along the side of this mountain.
The current plan is to get our friends out of here safely from avalanches and attack the thing if it comes back.
All right, Axel, it is your turn.
I'm just going to take a regular movement.
Okay.
So that I can remain in the back once Pablo moves.
Shadow Mind.
Or I'm just gonna keep 5, 10, 15, 20. Just keep inching my way, feeling with my feet and my back while I concentrate on this thing. Unsure if it's even in the radius yet, but it hasn't done much, so.
Abu.
I will, I'll move ahead of this group that's... Oh, no. Can't really do that. I'll just move 15. I'll hold an action if something moves in my light radius. Like, as soon as I can see something that's not us, I will shoot it.
All right. Night Hunter.
Can I see where this thing is or where it went?
Do a perception check.
With advantage, because Hunter's Mark. 26?
26. You do not see it at all.
And I'm going to move up and I'll hold my action for if he shows up.
All right.
I'm sticking in the pocket.
It is this thing's turn. All right. You don't. Nobody sees what it is doing or hears because it's possibly still in silence. You don't know. Stone here.
God damn it. Can I fly them against the wall in this corner, or do I need to be like...
you can still be up
okay.
against the wall there.
So that would be my entire just movement to get there. Flatten up like Secret Agent Man style as best I can with my back all hunched forward because I'm fucking broke. And you know what's funny is like one of the spells I have is Earth Tremor.
All these earth tremors, thunder waves.
I've got so many things we don't want to use in this canyon.
Yeah.
At all. So I'm just gonna chill out, see what's going on, you know.
Excuse me, Axel.
I am going to take a dash action as I'm running past Pabu, just say, "We are falling behind. We must hurry."
Yes, Axel.
Just move up here next to Night Hunter.
Shadow Mind.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'm just slowly moving my way as I concentrate on this. Nothing too special.
Alright. Pabu.
Same thing I've been doing. Let's see. Is it worth dashing, actually? I'll dash and just cut kind of ahead a little bit.
Alright. Night Hunter.
I don't even know if I can move right now. I guess I'll just move up in front of Pabu between Shadow Mind and... Or not Shadow Mind, Stone here and Pabu and hold my action. If I see that spider and it gets too close to my friends, I'm gonna shoot him.
Alright. It took its turn. Stone here.
Cast Tidal Wave. No, I'm kidding. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to keep moving forward.
Okay.
We go 15 foot up. And that'll be it.
Scooching along the wall. Next is Axel.
I will say again, we should make haste. The creature seems to be gone. And I'm going to dash once again.
Shadow Mind.
I'm actually gonna delay until just kind of waiting for everyone else to pass by this point. Now that we're like getting further and further away, I want to make sure everyone catches up while I'm like within this range.
Yeah, I'm just gonna continue dashing as well. So. Yeah, then I'll dash, but I only get up here. I don't use the full dash.
Okay. And Night Hunter.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up behind Pabu, holding an arrow.
All right.
Can't
At
really
this-
go anywhere else.
Point. You all have made it far enough through the chasm that you're able to see the end of it, where it opens back up again. This thing has not shown itself. It has not screamed again. It actually burrowed away many turns ago.
Would never have heard it.
Yeah, it dug underground and escaped when it realized that it wasn't really being attacked anymore. And you guys made it through the chasm easily enough. Finally gave you guys something outside
gonna-
of that.
I'm gonna keep
some of the other
Hunter's mark
characters
on
did.
it,
Excellent.
just in case it gets cocky.
Okay. You can do that.
At some point, I think I need to take a bit of a breather after that. Takes a lot of energy at this age to perform some of these tactical mights of mine.
You are about halfway to Skytower. If you would like to stop and rest, you can, or you can continue forward.
Yeah, I mean, we should be as fit as we can when we go into Skytower. So perhaps a short reconvening to get our senses back would be appropriate.
Shadowmine, do that punching thing on my back.
Alright, yeah, that should help me loosen up the old chakras. I start punching him on the back.
Slowly, it's like clack, 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 and I'm like standing up a little bit straighter. Oh.
You gotta stretch.
As
Why aren't you doing the stretches I taught you?
As you guys are resting, whoever's keeping a lookout, if you want to, you don't have to, but if you'd like to keep a lookout, whoever's doing that, give me a perception.
I will, because I get it. I get it with advantage and extra stuff.
I'd be keeping a lookout too, since I do have dark vision. But
22.
All right. Roll me a d20. Axel.
$11.
An 11. So you guys don't see anything during your break. You're able to get a spine realigned and take a short rest.
Perfect.
So I think that just gets some abilities back for people.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure
used
what.
4 out of my 5 key points to do cast without trace and silence. So.
Worth get a few of those back. And then you guys can continue on the last leg of the journey. Night Hunter, give me your survival with advantage.
28.
28, yeah. You're able to avoid any kind of dangerous situations or things like that, and you make your way to Skytower Shelter. As you approach, you see this enormous cave. Like it's like a very high peak, sticking out of the spine of the world, and this is where Skytower Shelter is built into. It is carved into the northwest face of a 15,000 foot high mountain, and tunnels lead throughout it, as well as caves. As you get closer, give me perception checks.
No.
27.
Night
Yeah,
Hunter.
let's see if
for
I can
sure
roll the
sees
right
this.
one this time instead of fucking last Wednesday.
Night Hunter sees this. Stone Hero, you hear this, surprisingly enough.
Is it coming from the stones?
Hmm.
As you approach, you see and hear as 6 griffins are circling above you, following you as you approach this mountain, and shrieking along the way. That's what you would be hearing, is the shrieking of these griffins. As you keep approaching, there is an entranceway, and at the end of it is a 10-foot tall barricade made of wood and stone, set with a crude gate made of thick lumber and festooned metal blades. So there's like metal blades sticking out of it. Gaps in the gate allow you to see an unusually tall figure, but probably usually tall for the rest of you, in hide armor, standing about 10 feet behind it and clutching a great axe. Beyond this figure is a higher ledge with 5 equally towering figures standing atop it. How would you like to approach?
I'm not saying we should look aggressive, but at least be on our guard.
Yeah, I'll approach the gate. I don't have my hammer drawn, but would have it just at my side, not hiding it. And stop about 15 feet away from the gate, and say, "We are envoys of the Thun Laka Laka clan to speak with your chieftain about matters of great importance."
You should turn back now. You're not welcome here.
We have brought back a gift in a sign of good faith.
Well,
This figure kind of narrows his eyes at the smallest Goliath within the parties. A gift, you say? That's... well, what is it?
I think that it would be best for your chieftain.
You're speaking to him, boy.
Oh. My apologies. It is a helmet we believe to belong to you. I'll kind of start to reach out into my bag and show it.
Where did you come across something like that?
Where did we come across this?
The dragon.
The Dragon's Ward.
Mhm.
What was the name of the place? I'm sorry.
It was the Ancient Springs.
We found it in the ancient springs. It was in a dragon's hoard.
A dragon, you say? And how did you manage to get it away from such a terrifying creature?
we killed it.
Give me persuasion check. Probably with advantage from Axel.
Woo!
Okay, good, because I was gonna try and do aid and be like,
Double 16.
"We do come from Womb Doom."
True.
He looks at the other 5 Goliaths that are like on this ledge. Just let them in. We have counsel as long as they are offering this gift. And they move to open the gate for all of you.
Remember, Big Pabu, what I said about feuds and the dawn, because I do not.
Shadow Mine, I got a question.
Yeah, Shadow Mine's like lingering in the back for
So I got a question for you, Bumble, about Shadow Mine.
Yeah.
Is there like a lot of people in the tribe that kind of know about the shit you know, camping in places you weren't supposed to be camping in, so to speak?
I
think you're
obviously all of the heads.
Pitching your
Well,
I
tent.
didn't hear what they said. I said like all the head people would have known about it.
Camping in caverns, you don't belong.
Possibly their chieftain or their like elder might know about it. I don't know what kind of shit, you know, his wife had to go through. I don't think it was, because it was kind of like a very long time ago and pretty you know, taboo, so they didn't want to like spread it around. They just wanted to get me out of there.
Just curious.
Spread
Yeah.
something around.
He did.
Yeah.
He did spread it.
To make some kids.
But Shadow Mine would be kind of lingering
Spread
in the
all
back
kinds
of it all to try and like avoid it getting worse by noticing him.
Roll a stealth check, gentlemen.
He's just too flamboyant as a person.
Oh, no.
He's just there.
Yes, do not fear, everyone.
I'm
not
just an
here to
elderly
slaughter
monk.
all your children this time.
Take your ladies.
I'm just too grumbly about this whole scenario.
Yeah, as the chieftain begins to lead all of you into the caverns, the 5 Goliaths that are standing guard start glaring down Shadowbind. And you enter the Chieftains Cave. This 12-foot high cave has a crackling fire in its center and walls lined with hunting trophies, including the skulls and pelts of various mountain-dwelling creatures. Seated by the fire is a wizened Goliath with long white hair. A Yeti fur cloak is draped over her stooped shoulders, and a tiger-sized feline with white fur crouches beside her. Let's see if I have something a little more appropriate for music in here.
Sorry, what kind of feline? What was that?
A large white feline. You would know these as a Craig cat.
Okay, so
I was gonna say, is she wearing Felicity?
Oh my god.
Nope, she is. So she's wearing Yeti fur.
yeah.
So that's who that shop owner sold it to. No.
Oh yeah.
So as you enter the room, the chieftain, who has been told to you his name is Arn. Where'd I put my clipboard? Oh, right there. His name is Arn Rockfist Ankanthi. Akathon.
Akatheni?
Akathani. Kanathi. Sorry. Akanathi.
Anakin Skywalker.
I was putting the TH in a different spot.
Where are the Tusken Raiders?
And he kind of motions for you to take a seat around the fire.
I'll sit down, put my, help my quarterstaff sit me down. Hold on to it.
I think Night Hunter is more in like not quite sitting, but like in a kneeling on one knee. Like in a rested position, but she's not sitting on the ground.
I just plop down. Not unceremoniously, but just like, okay.
Shadowmind reluctantly sits.
The crisscross applesauce.
I'm afraid if I do that, I won't be able to get up.
Gotta do those stretches I told you about.
If you said crisscross, your knee would break.
Not if you stretched them enough.
His kneecaps all shut down.
You gotta stretch your kneecaps till they're applesauce. That's how it works.
I don't think that's how that should work.
Look at the way my leg jiggles.
I'm gonna plop my drum in, where in my crisscross stance, like in the middle.
In your lap?
In my lap. There we go. There's the word I couldn't find.
In my crisscross.
In my crisscross.
In my crisscross space.
As you all sit down, another.
I got drum in my applesauce. Oh.
As you all sit down, another large male Goliath comes in and sits down next to the elderly female Goliath. And then Arn takes a seat on her other side. So, the helm.
Oh yes. Kind of look to the others for like approval to give it to them or not.
I nod.
Okay.
And like motion with my staff, like
yeah.
I'll take it out and I'll are they standing? What's going on?
If you take it out to like hand it to him, Arn will stand up to get it from you.
Okay. And then after that, I'll be like, do you mind if I play a little as we talk?
Do a persuasion with advantage.
21.
Kind of nods to you with a dismissive look, but one of approval.
I start playing a very peaceful beat. Very soft, peaceful melody.
It's like we're all in a massage parlor getting massages and just like great ambient music.
Yes.
So, what brings Worm Doom Goliaths here to offer this ancient relic?
We have come to offer a temporary truce for the betterment of all of the Dale.
I'm interested.
We have been sent on a mission by our shaman to unite our clans so that we might come closer to ending this everlasting night that we are besieged with.
What do you need Skytower Goliath for this?
All Goliaths are stronger together.
This isn't some ploy to try and kill our griffins.
The past is the past. We write stories and it is in stone. But it is also something that we read to learn from. It's not something to hold a grudge against. A silly game.
Do a persuasion with advantage from Pabu's little music.
Ooh, my music's working.
Persuasion. Oh, that was a Pablo. You should have been talking to this guy.
Yeah. I think all of us have like a name.
Nat 20!
Oh!
Yes!
That's our stone here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. He's talking about stones.
I didn't realize that I was.
You speak wise, Wormdoom. How do you plan to end this everlasting rhyme? Is it just Goliaths hold hands and it ends, or...
I'm pretty sure if two Goliaths held hands, they'd get in a fight before too long. And I kind of chuckle at that. Like, if battle comes, we should stand ready. But, and I look towards Axel.
I'm trying not to metagame this too much. I have allies in the 10 towns that are gathering information about how to end this winter. I have come back to the Goliath clans to bring strength to their plan.
Well, if it's to end this everlasting rhyme, and we will stand with you as a sign of good faith for returning our helm. But there is also something else I'd like for you to attempt to see if you are worthy.
Shadowmine at that just spits on the ground, just
Uh,
annoyed at this. We already
Good.
gave him a helmet, and then he's trying to push his luck.
You have
Was
something to say?
Nope, he does not. What would you have us do? He is an old man who has
You-
issues with his spit production.
He has more issues than that.
Yes.
Follow me.
Have you seen his knees?
He stands up and continues deeper into the caves.
It's not just his salivary glands that are overactive.
Hmm.
Oh!
That was good.
I'm trying to get the reveal tool to work right because for some
I
reason-
just realized, Shadowmine, that's not your knee. Never mind.
Oh, mm.
I really hope it was his knee.
So Arn begins leading you deeper into the caves, and you come into this area where the ceiling raises to 15 feet in height, and you can see there are 4 large nests within the area. The northernmost nest contains a full-grown griffin that appears to be sound asleep. The wind stirs the sleeping griffin's feathers as it enters through a wide opening in the north wall, beyond which you can see mountain peaks and storm clouds. Sitting on the edge of this opening is a Goliath, who is talking gently to a griffin youngling that leans against her. "Oh, come no closer." As you guys begin to walk in, This youngling is afraid to fly, and his mother is trying to get some rest.
Huh?
And as Arn leads you in, here's your task.
Babysit?
We have a youngling that needs to learn to fly. If you are looking to make friends with the Skytower Goliaths, you should be able to teach a griffin to fly.
It's taking everything in Shadowmine's old stern way of life not to just suggest just snapping its neck and throwing it off the tower. That'll shut it up.
Is that like a little cliff right there?
Yeah, so like there's where she's like sitting on the edge of this cliff at the opening of this cave with this small griffin like leaning up against her, and it looks scared as all of you enter this area.
What do we know about griffins?
Yeah.
What do I know about griffins?
Nature checks.
I got a nat 1 on that one.
I mean, the rest of your party rolled pretty good. So, all of you know that the griffins are mounts that are used by Skytower Goliaths, especially because they live in such a high peak, and the griffins naturally live there. Those of you who rolled higher, such as Pabu Axel, Shadowmine would know this as well. They're very loyal to whoever earns their trust, and they are very aggressive to those who don't.
Do they like have a language or no?
Are they
Griffins, I don't.
Are they like hippogriffs where you need to bow before you can ride them?
Nope, this isn't Harry Potter.
Do you have a man named Hagrid around?
Griffins do not have their own language,
Okay.
so they don't really speak a language.
Would Axel know what their intelligence is?
Axel would. They are not smart. They're pretty freaking dumb, but they are loyal.
Is it?
They're
is
like
it
big
4 or
dogs.
higher?
Adam, the player, is also going to say they're a monstrosity, if that matters for any.
They are monstrosities. So if you're trying to talk with animal, it wouldn't work.
Oh no, I don't have speak with animals. I have animal friendship.
I think that also doesn't work because I think it has to be a beast for that.
I will.
They are
Yeah,
monstrosities.
it does say beast.
Attempt to approach kind of timidly, but very intrigued. I've probably never been close to a griffin before.
As you approach, roll a persuasion check.
Oh,
Hello,
good
little
job,
guy.
Adam.
I am your friend. Oh.
Yeah, it's like it curls up into this Goliath. He does not want you to approach.
Okay.
I'll give it a shot. Fuck it.
Does
All
anybody
right,
know
persuasion
how
check.
to get them to fly? Would it be yeah, because they're monstrosities, animal handling.
I'm trying to think how I could use this.
You got something?
I have an idea, but I don't know what exactly.
Well, try. Tell me what you're thinking.
I want to wild shape into a fox, and like hop around kind of playfully and like roll around, and just like sit in place like I'm looking at the griffin. But I have a feeling it's going to attack me and eat me.
Possibly. I would allow, if you were to do that, you do a persuasion check. If you meet the DC, which would be, it's not the same DC as a human approaching it, you'd give advantage to whoever tries to approach it next.
Okay, let's try that.
All right. You wild shape into a fox and begin to try and get this griffin's attention.
And you said persuasion?
Persuasion check. If you roll too low, it will probably nip at you, but if you roll well, you'll give advantage.
Let's do it. 0 modifier. 7. I failed it.
7. It's not low enough to make it come after you, but yeah, it doesn't know what to do. This Goliath just turned into this fox, and it curls even deeper up against the other Goliath.
Who's
I'll walk back in
going?
the fox and just sit down.
Who will try next?
I guess I'll reach into my bag
right.
for some food. Or I'll let Shadow.
I was gonna say, all right, Pabu. I know you don't get to see him much just here, and I was gonna pull out some meat and hand it to Pabu to hand to the griffin. So we were kind of on the same wavelength there.
Yeah.
I am
It's hungry, probably.
going to grab the hand that Shadowmine just gave him the meat. Do your best. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability on him, Eagle Splendor, so he has advantage on anything charisma based.
All right.
For I think the next hour or until I drop concentration.
All right. Because we can't do double advantage, I will have the meat act like a D6 Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
For you. So you have advantage and a D6.
Hell yeah. 26.
26. Don't even need
No,
that Bardic.
Let's roll 1D.
Man,
This is my griffin now.
Yeah, you begin to approach again a little bit slower this time. You kind of crouch down a little bit more to be closer to its level, and you can see its eyes get a little bit brighter and wider, and it starts to walk away from this other Goliath. Like it doesn't go far from this other Goliath, but it's not like curled up into it anymore. It says you can approach it.
Yes, that's it. I am friend. And I hold out the meat for it to eat. And I want to extend a hand to see if I can pet the griffin.
You an animal handling check.
Oh boy, that one's a 0. 13. Yes.
13. Yeah, you reach out and it, like, nips your finger.
Oh, all right.
Bites you a little bit.
We're moving a little quick, I guess. So
You will have one, or you can go ahead and say something.
Why do you not want to fly, little one?
As you ask this is your last animal handling check I will give you. If anybody wants to help.
The way I was going to help, since I'm still a fox, I saw that he went to pet it and it nipped at him. I was going to walk up to him and act like I wanted him to pet me to show that he's not going to do harm to it.
That will give advantage.
I could use my last second level spell slot and change your enhance ability to wisdom, which I think is animal handling.
If you'd like to, I would change
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
fox
doing.
thing to Bardic Inspiration like I did with the food.
Yeah,
All
we can do
right.
that.
With that, I'm willing to give that a go.
Do you change? Okay, you
I
do.
do. I will change the enhance ability to wisdom.
All right.
That's all I can help with.
Animal handling check with advantage plus a D6.
19. 6. So 23.
Yeah, this thing, as it nipped your finger and backed up, but then as you go back again, a little slower this time, it seems to accept you, and it's like it puts its front feet, the talons up on your knees, and lets you pet it.
That's it, buddy. That's it.
It seems to have taken to you. Try and get it to fly.
Most people do.
He's not wrong.
I bite him in the ass at that, and I'm kidding.
How tall is the tall is the cliffside?
The cliffside, I'm gonna say it's about 1,000 feet.
Man, I wish we were 8th level. I could wild shape to a giant bird and have Grizz on my back flying around and saying, "Oh, that's cool, it's fun." But I can't.
Can I, now that I'm closer and a little more friendly with this thing, I just kind of want to, kind of gently, move the wings and see if maybe there's any injuries. I don't want to, assume this thing's not in bad health, and that's why it's not flying.
Do a medicine check.
Do
I
I?
mean,
get the enhanced ability on this or no?
You get
If
advantage.
Yes, it's advantage for the next hour as long as I'm
that's what it is.
concentrating.
Okay, 10. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be able to tell, huh?
You don't feel anything wrong with its wing. Like there's no fractures or breaks to it.
If Tommy, if you had a 200 gold piece gilded acorn, you could create a small flying creature.
You know, the funny thing about that is that as we have played with Goliaths, I've yet to run into 200 gold.
Sometimes I kind of yell from the back. Sometimes to get a creature to fly, the mother pushes it out of the nest. If you'd like, I could run with it out over the cliff.
You would jump.
I'm good in the air. Give it something to fly, see how it picks up the winds.
Man, I almost took wind walk. I was this close.
All right. Does this griffin have a name?
It does not yet. It looks like you are able to name it.
I name it?
It's taken to you.
Is it a boy or a girl?
Do an animal handling check.
Oh boy.
Which is advantage.
You know what I'll do? I'll ask
You gotta lift the feathers.
Is it the boy or is it the girl?
It is a little boy.
Little boy griffin. What if we give you a fierce name? Thinking through the lore of the realm and Goliaths and stuff, any gods of flight or anything like that?
Oh boy, you got me googling. Gods of flight. Oh god, why is it doing this? Oh, it's because I got things sitting on my spacebar.
You've got Bahamut, Valkor, Akkadi, and Chanticleer?
Chanticleer?
It looks close to that. But...
Chanticleer.
Sandy Claus?
Oh god. Akkadi is the goddess of movement, speed, and air elementals.
Goddess, though.
Whoop.
That was right.
Yeah. I mean, you can alter it. Do a religion check as I look at these.
Okay, fair enough. 17.
17. I'm just looking for anything that's like similar to air stuff. That might be the closest we get because everything else seems to be. Lathander is the god of spring, dawn, birth, youth, vitality, athletics. If anybody knows any favorite gods, shout them out.
Valkor is the god of favorable winds.
Who is that?
Valkor.
Valkor? That's a good one. Oh.
Yeah.
How about we name you Valkor? Yes. The god of good wind.
It noses up to you.
Knows how to spread the seed.
It's a demi deity, so yeah. One of the lower ones, but yeah, it's still Valkor. Yeah, it seems to take to that name.
Alright. Do you know why I'm here, Valkor?
Just looks up at you.
We're going to
These
fly
wide
today.
eyes. It seems a little timid when you bring up flying.
I know it's scary out there, the world. But do you have a gift that many of us wish that we could have? To be free. To see the world from a point of view no one else can. I would like to give a bardic inspiration to the bird. To the griffin.
Alright. Roll another animal handling with advantage.
Ooh, nat 20.
Nat 20. What is your bardic inspiration at this point?
Level 5. Is that a D8?
I think it's still a 6.
Oh, Okay.
8 happens way later than you would expect it to.
Nope, 5th level's D8.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Oh! I just don't know bards.
I don't know bards either. This is like my first bard, I think. So besides the one shot we did.
All right. Was it D8 or D6?
D8. A D8.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you give this speech to this tiny little griffin, and it turns around and looks out over the mountain peaks and the storm clouds.
Start spreading my wings, my arms.
You doing the fly away home thing?
Kind of showing it what to do.
And it starts flapping its wings, and at first it's awkward at first. It does start to get off of the ground, but like its body is hanging down. And then it continues flapping and starts to take wind, and it straightens out, and it does a little circle around the ridge and comes and lands right on your shoulder.
Oh, it's small enough to be on my shoulder?
It's tiny, yeah. It's very small.
That is good.
We're also very big.
Yeah.
You did it.
You've proven yourself to this griffin, and it's learned to fly from you. The Goliath stands up. She's been sitting this whole time. I am Rahi. This griffin now belongs to you, Worm Doom.
That is very cool.
Thank
I'm
you.
just licking a paw.
You're so fox.
Yeah, I haven't dismissed it. I'm gonna be a fox for a couple of hours.
And Arn approaches all of you. He doesn't look happy, but you have proven yourself. He says, when the time comes, Skytower Goliaths will stand with Worm Doom Goliaths. And our griffins are yours.
We shall stand with you as well.
Don't let us down. And he reaches his hand out for a predator handshake with you, Axel.
As another sign of respect and I don't know, not good with words. I'm gonna pull out a couple of the dragon scales I took from the dragon. And I'm not gonna give over all of them, but I'm gonna give over a couple of them. The dragon that stole your relic.
Thank you for returning that to us without knowing if we would join you or not.
It is the least we can do. Let this be a day of healing.
Yes.
Yes.
An end to the rhyme.
And into the rhyme. And as that conversation ends, we're going to take a small break. You guys won't notice because you're on YouTube/Patreon, but I'm going to give the players a break for a second to regather themselves before we do the second half of this Goliath-only session. We'll be back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. Well, it's been no time for you, but welcome back to our players. We are rejoining our Goliaths as they return to Wormdoom Crag, being successful in making peace with the Skytower Shelter Goliaths. And we actually are going to be in a different cavern this time. We're off to this side cavern. I'll ping it again for those of you who didn't see it.
Okay.
And this room is very familiar to all of you, because this is the room where the crawl happens. So, for those of you who don't know, the crawl, or don't remember, the crawl is a ritual that happens when a young Goliath becomes an adult Goliath, where they offer up a memento from their childhood, usually a doll they've made or something along those lines. And then they go through this underground tunnel that's filled with different runes. These runes end up causing you to have visions that you must overcome to make it all the way through the crawl. And when you come out the other side, you are greeted by the rest of the Goliaths, who welcome you in as an adult. And you would then have your Goliath markings read, which are a little more visible at this point after going through the crawl, by the shaman, who then can tell your destiny. And we're here because you have completed all of the quests needed to be done, and now Axel needs to go through the crawl to be re-invited into the Goliath tribe. Now, Axel, you are standing on the other side. Your group that you've been traveling with is next to you, and on the other side is the rest of the tribe. You can see the chieftain is there, as well as the teacher who usually leads the young Goliaths through this process. His name is Demalock Nightwalker Thunlakalaga. The shaman is not here. He doesn't leave his cavern, so you will be brought there if you complete this trial. Before Axel enters, is there anything anybody would like to do, either just talking to Axel or to bolster him in some way? You know that this is a trial of constitution and of charisma, which is strange, but that's what it is.
How long has it been since we left Skytower?
This will be the next day.
So we've gotten a long rest?
Yes, you've gotten a long rest. Pabu, you have your griffin with you. Little Volker is there with you. Volker. What's that dragon's name from that Reddit story? That's what it sounds like.
Alcor.
Alcor, yeah.
Valcor. That's really why I said it. No, it's not.
Volker is his name. Yeah. If there's anything you would like to do or say? Otherwise, just chuck the Axel down the hole and we'll get going.
No, I do want to do something, but I'm trying to decide if I want to give him advantage on charisma or something to do with. I'm looking through. Right? Or if I
I'm
want
good
to
on
give...
Constitution.
I will say these are saving throws, just so you are aware, so you're not wasting spells.
Okay. Yeah, I would just put a hand on his shoulder. You showed great strength in these many quests. This crawl should be but a dream. I wish I could do more for you.
It is a task for a child. Hopefully I'm strong enough to complete it again.
Axel, you have done this before, so it should not be hard a second time, right?
The theory.
And in the short time I have come to know you, you are one of the bravest and strongest Goliaths. You will do fine. And I will be waiting on the other side to welcome you home. And I will give him a bardic inspiration.
As will I be waiting. And I will hand him the... It's not really like mechanically whatever, but I will hand him the elven arrow from our first quest together that I took from the Dragon Horde.
Since he gave him bardic inspiration, could I still cast guidance on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a separate thing, so you can cast guidance.
I'm gonna walk up to him and say, well, you've done it before, so no doubt you'll be able to do it again, but just remember, whatever it is, let it happen, and I think you'll do fine. As I just kind of pat him on the back, and I'm gonna look at him and say, but I better be able to know what your fucking destiny is this time. They kept it from me last time. As I walk away.
You and me both,
I cast guidance on him.
You and me both, buddy.
I'll put a hand on his shoulder When I went through here my second time, that's when I was given my name, Shadow Mind. Just remember, the things that you're going to see in there are going to chill you to the bone. They're going to remind you of everything. All the isolation's going to bring forth every insecurity that can come to your mind. And then I pat him on the back. That's it.
Well, now I don't want to do it. No, I'm kidding.
Thanks for the pep talk.
It's like, here's some warming messages. Oh, you're fucked, buddy. It's like, well, that...
You know, it's supposed to be a shit sandwich, not a shit at the end.
So, because these are saving throws, guidance won't do anything. But because of the three of you bolstering him, kind of, you get to choose which. There's going to be 2 rolls. You get to choose which roll you would like to have advantage, and which one you'd like to have bardic. You can double up on one if you really
Did I say
need
guidance again, or did I say resistance?
You said guidance.
Oh my god.
Did you mean a different spell? You
I
can
meant
change.
resistance.
Okay, you have resistance. So I think that's
I did this last time.
saving throw then.
Yeah.
So yeah, you will have so you have advantage, you have resistance, you have bardic. You can choose which rolls to have them on after you roll them even. That's how we'll do this. So, all of you head to the other side of this tunnel. So all of you are on this side. Axel starts over on this side. And Axel begins to descend down the cavern. You have to get on your hands and knees and crawl.
What does he give up?
I was gonna say, if I don't know if I need to.
Yeah, let's have you give something up.
But before I go in there, since it normally would be something from my childhood that I would give up to go through the crawl, I think Axel takes the purple gem that he was using as a focus that he got from Mila that was started a lot of this and really represents his time in 10 Towns and all of those experiences, and gives that up before he goes into the crawl.
Hand it over to Nightwalker, the teacher. A lot of people have Night in their name. And he's like this Goliath that wears a lot of these pastel colored shawls. He takes it and holds it and ushers you into the rune carved tunnel. So you begin to crawl through this tunnel, and as you do, like, the runes almost seem to come off of the wall and surround you. And as they do so, the runes from your own subclass also begin to surround you, almost seeming to keep them from coming too close to you. And you can see as your markings start to get more visual as well. The only lights are these runes seem to give off like a blue light that come from the wall, and that's the only light you have as you crawl through this tunnel by yourself. But with the help of your allies, in forms of words and magic, and objects that they gave to you. Did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say, I think I don't know how many other Goliaths have had dark vision going through the crawl. So I think it's very different for Axel when he first went through, going almost blind, and now he has this enhanced dark vision. There may be nothing extra to see, but he can see his path forward.
Yeah, you can see these walls, the walls of the cave. You can see every like crag and crack in them. It's almost this, not black rock, but it's very dark rock compared to the rest of the cave that makes up Worm Doom Crag. And as you go, you start to get visions that overcome you. You see the time that you were paralyzed by the Grell as it descended on you, and left you there as bait for your party members. And you saw them walk away from you while you were still paralyzed, leaving you alone in the gem mines. You also see all of the travels through Icewind Dale, and as you got lost in the blizzard fighting the Cold Walker, as once again your party left you alone with Shannara. Shannara has been around. I forgot to mention. Shannara's been around in Worm Doom Crag. She's actually taken the Goliath life pretty well. She doesn't like do the goat ball and stuff, but she helps where she can.
I was gonna wait till the end of the session and be like, "Where the fuck is Shania?"
She's here. She's like doing stuff, and the Goliaths have taken to her. They don't really question the smell or anything coming off of her. Some of them may know she's undead, but they don't really seem to let on that they do. But anyway, back to the crawl. So you see all these times of isolation that you've had. Give me a Constitution saving throw, and you can choose which buffs you'd like to do after the roll.
Yes. And so that I turned it off, so I'm not rolling advantage right away, so I don't know if it'd be good for advantage.
Would you like to do, if you would like to do anything, you can. If not, you don't have to.
Shoot, that's such a middling number.
You have a minute to use resistance, by the way.
Yeah, I'll let you have it through this whole crawl. It doesn't take that long. It seems longer than it is for you. So yeah, you have your resistance, you have bardic, you have advantage. You can choose however many of them you'd like to do.
I think I'm at least going to add my resistance to this one.
Okay.
I want to save my others for my... Okay, at 15, I can live with a 15.
Okay.
It's...
You roll.
My charisma's going to be nonsense.
What does Axel think of as all of these moments of isolation, and even the moment of you being expelled from your own tribe without much of an explanation, sending you off into the winds and the cold of Icewind Dale? What does Axel think of in this moment?
I think Axel, even through all of these moments of isolation, being kicked out of his tribe and then needing to survive out in the wilderness, but then eventually coming to the 10 towns and settling in a Tourmaline, being taken in by one of the people there and learning mining and gem crafting, and where he then eventually learned to harness these ruins, only came about because he was kicked out. After being paralyzed by the Grell, his friends came back from him and was the only one that knew Mila well enough to know that she was possessed in that moment. Even though Mila turned out not to be what he thought, he was still friends with her. And then even in the blizzard, isolated, has now come back to the Goliaths and has found a new group of people that he's done amazing things with.
And with these thoughts, you're able to push through the first part of the crawl. This is the part where a lot of young Goliaths turn back that are weaker of constitution, and you continue pushing. As you continue forward, more visions come to you. You begin to think of, once again, the blizzard. Not that your friends left you, but what they're doing now, and are they able to continue on without you? You think back to the Yeti fight, where you almost all died, including yourself falling to the ground. You think back to losing Mila in that moment of choice, where do you chase after the druid or do you help her? And she ended up perishing during that time, finding out her secret, as well as seeing the real Mila, or who knows how they were connected, dead on the side of the mountain after the Yeti fight. You think of all the times you were able to hold things back from the rest of your party, and once again think about if they're able to even still be alive. You know you left a note for them, but you haven't heard back from them. I need a charisma saving throw.
Okay, I'm already going to use my advantage on it. Okay. Okay, I'm adding the d6 just because.
Why not?
Anything will be better. Ooh, so that's a 23 total.
What was the D6
what is it?
for again?
Resistance from.
Okay.
No, that was my
This
Bardic.
is the
Sorry.
D8.
Oh, that was Bardic.
So it
That's
should have
what
been
you're
a D8.
Bardic
but-
should be a D8.
But now I'm afraid that you're going to roll lower than a 5. We'll take the 5.
Yeah,
I'm still above a 20. I think I'm good.
What does Axel think of having all of these visions raised to his mind?
This is very bittersweet knowing what I actually know about the party. But I think he does know, thinks about, even though he did go down in the Yeti fight, Celeste was there to bring them back up and help the party keep moving forward. So he knows that Celeste was with them moving forward, continuing to protect them. That Heinlein was there, and Heinlein would protect even better than Axel did in a lot of those fights, taking a lot of the damage. Knowing how smart Orlin is in so many of the different feats that he's gone, and especially Zavros being able to traverse these wilderness, he feels that there's a pretty good team even without him there.
And as you think of these things, one last vision comes to you. This vision of looks like a snow owl's head with these curving horns and these amber glowing eyes. Almost seem to pierce your soul, but as you think of these moments, it dissipates into smoke, and you come back to your own. You come back to this time in this space, and you see as the runes start to retreat from you back into the wall, and you see the opening to the other side of the crawl.
I will continue forward.
You continue forward, and
I'll reach out a hand.
You see
ready
a hand?
to help pick him up.
Yep, I would take it. Probably unsteady on my feet, or at least emotional from seeing what I just saw.
When I lift him up, I'm going to bring him in close, and I'll say, I knew you could do it. So long as you know what's in here, there's nothing left to know about anything. And then I'll let him.
Yeah, I don't think Axel responds. Just kind of like tightens that hug for a half second before releasing it.
I don't want to step in on the.
No, I would let him go. That was to the desk.
I don't want to. I was just gonna say I don't want to step on anybody else's toes that want to get a word with Axel. But another Goliath has joined all of you during this time that you are all unfamiliar with. She is a female Goliath. She stands taller than any Goliath here. She's got these two long, her hair's braided in two long braids in the front, and then just is like wild in the back. Brunette hair. She wears it's like it. Her top it's sleeveless and it comes to her midriff, and then she has this like skirt made out of different furs and things, and she has joined to watch, and at this point she does step forward. She says, well, that was very impressive. I hear you are the one who has a destiny to fulfill.
They keep telling me this. I do not know what the destiny is.
Well, if you are truly worthy, you have one last thing to fulfill.
Of course.
You must prove yourself in a bout of strength against me.
Look, just forgive me. Who the fuck are you?
You may know me as Oya Minotaurk. And as she says this, her face starts to elongate outwards into a muzzle, and she starts to sprout white fur all over her body, clear fur technically, and starts to grow larger, and her arms get really long and even more muscular than before, as her legs start to turn into these thick, almost trunks of legs, as she shifts into a were polar bear in front of all of you. This is Oya Minotaurk, the legend of the Goliaths, told as a ghost story to children to keep them in line, and that who is sought out by Goliaths to prove themselves, but none ever really find her. It's only if she shows herself to them that they are able to prove themselves, and she has just shown herself to Axel. she kind of growls at you. She rolls her shoulders. Should we do this in here, or do you have somewhere else you'd like to do this?
I am going to bonus action Giant's Might, and then I'm going to grapple this polar bear, please.
All right. That's perfect, because that is how we're going to start. So this isn't going to be a normal combat. This is going to be some feats of strength. So we will start with opposed athletics checks.
I have advantage because I'm big.
He also rolls.
What the fuck is that?
No!
You both go at each other, and start to you grab each other's shoulders, and you're trying to get the upper hand on each other. What?
Does he get a crippling injury with
supposed to be an athletics check, not a strength save.
Oh, well.
What's your bonus to your athletics?
+9.
+9. So, technically, you beat her because it's a skill check, not a attack. So the crits don't matter. You just roll above her, and you're able to get the upper hand on her. Now, we'll do a dexterity check.
Can I...
Acrobatics, sorry.
When she technically ends her turn, can I invoke my Stone Ruin? And she has to make a Wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, I'll allow that. What is the save?
It'll be DC 13. She has to do a Wisdom saving throw or be incapacitated.
She is incapacitated. Which means, I think that does stuff for Dex, which is your next check, so...
I believe that means she fails it automatically.
I believe that is the case. Incapacitated.
Oh, no,
can't take actions or reactions, so she still can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, can't take actions or reactions, which... That's an action or reaction. I'll say she does fail this next one. Because otherwise it's not going to ever come into play. And it would make sense, because she can't take an action or reaction. So you are able to, get her off balance, and then you activate your ruin, and you're able to take her to the ground. And for this last one, we're going to do weapon attacks. Technically, you don't have your weapon, but we're going to act like you do. So you attack with Dawnbreaker.
We'll get there, Axel.
She's going to do a wisdom save to try and get out of the thing, and I will reveal what happens after you roll.
17.
Yeah, you have taken her to the ground. How do you end this bout of strength and dexterity?
After the first little bit of a struggle on that first round, but then being able to stun her, bring the polar bear down, Axel just lays his boot on her neck and says, I thought it would be a harder fight.
As you do that, she starts to revert back into her Goliath form.
I would then, as she reverts back, I would offer my hand down to help her out.
She takes it and breathing heavy. You are worthy, Axel Breaker. Go forth to your shaman, and he will give you your destiny.
Thank you. I'll go to the shaman.
You just hear out of the back, huzzah!
Do you think we will have to call him a new name?
Only if the elder wills it.
I wonder what he looks like bold.
He is still a breaker. And she gestures toward, well, it's not on the ground anymore, but the person he just broke.
You all head to the shaman. For the sake of time, I'm not going to type to Tommy. I know it's a fun thing that we do, but I'd have to type everything out, and then so I'll just have him say it to you. And if you'd like to translate things, you can. But everybody's going to hear what I say anyway. So you head into the Shamans Chambers, and he's sitting in the same spot. He's got a cup by his side. Nobody ever took it away after Stone here brought him his hot water. And you can see he's got these clouded over eyes. But he seems to be watching you as you approach him. And you walk forward and kneel in front of him, and he puts his hands on your face first, and begins to run them over the exposed parts of your body, because I assume you're wearing your armor and stuff still. Actually, no, for this ritual you wouldn't be. You would so he'd be running his hands over your body, where the markings are, and is muttering to himself. And Stone here, you would hear him say, "This Goliath has been destined to end this winter. He proved that he wasn't just a pawn in this, but one to actually strike down the Ice Maiden herself. He has made many allies along the way, and those who choose to join him will take part in this honor. Though he may fall in this fight, he will leave Icewind Dale safe until the next cataclysm happens. From this day forward, he will be known as Uathal, Axelbreaker, Dawnbringer, Kotholaga." Then he pulls his hands back from you.
I don't know how Axel would react. I think he is just truly stunned at everything that has happened and everything that was just said, and just kind of sits there, taking it all in.
I hand him a pair of scissors. No.
It is your choice if you would like to shave your hair. I will say.
I think he would. Like, that was something that I was thinking about. So I think if Stone here is there, I think he would ask him to shave his head, because that is also... He was waiting to be reaccepted back into the tribe before he did that.
I think the raucous nature that is Valrez, and how even though she has flourished in the night that has been here for 2 years, she would start a chant. "Huzzah! Hail, bringer of the dawn!"
Yeah, and the rest of the glass will join in with you with this chant as
I cut every lock.
As Stone here takes a razor made out of stone and shaves Axel's head as he rejoins the Thunlakalaga tribe of the Wormdoom Crag. And that is where we will end our session. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this little side thing before we end off the year. Again, we'll be coming back in January to continue this adventure and see what happens with the Goliaths. We won't be doing Goliaths right away. They'll come back later when they're needed, probably, because Axel's completed his quests. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to follow all of my amazing players here. They shouted it out at the beginning. If you missed it, go back and watch the beginning to get the intros. Otherwise, follow all the social medias for Swindler's Den, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. If you want to listen to audio-only versions, $1 a month. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time. Have a good year, everybody.
I don't want to wait until January.
I know.